Hey there, 8th graders. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's explainer. You know, as your teacher, I get to see you tackle some seriously incredible texts, and I know how much effort you put into your independent reading. But I've got to let you in on a little secret about reading all by yourself. It actually creates blind spots. Think about it. When you're just reading silently in your own head, or even out loud in an empty room, you don't always hear when you skip a word, or when you maybe rush right through a really crucial comma, or when your tone gets, well, a little flat. So today we are going to fix those blind spots. We're going to focus on mastering reading fluency, and we are going to do it together.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We've got the power of partnering, iron sharpens iron, giving constructive feedback, some awesome fluency practice examples, and finally we'll wrap up with the godly learner philosophy.
So, Section 1, the power of partnering. Let's look at why this practice actually matters.
While reading alone is an absolutely wonderful foundation, the truth is we all need a mirror to see exactly where we can improve. Think of a reading partner as kind of an audio mirror. We usually think of reading as a total solo sport, right? But just look at these benefits. When you practice with a partner, you get instant feedback. You don't have to sit around waiting for me to grade an assignment to know how you're doing. Plus, a partner can offer completely new interpretations of a text. Maybe they emphasize a word in a sentence that just completely changes the whole meaning for you. And honestly, more importantly, your partner spots reading habits you might literally never notice on your own. Like, do you always speed up when you get nervous? Do you accidentally drop your voice at the end of a question instead of raising it? Your partner is going to catch that. Plus, collaborating naturally levels up your pacing and expression just because it makes fluency work so much more engaging. You can actually time each other, track your progress, and set tangible goals together. It's a real game changer.
Moving right along to Section 2, iron sharpens iron. This is the spiritual anchor of what we're doing.
Okay, so we've talked about the academic why, but let's shift gears and look at the spiritual anchor of this skill. Why is collaborating with others so deeply rooted in exactly how God designed us to learn? I just absolutely love this verse from Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Just picture a blacksmith sharpening a blade. They don't gently rub a soft cloth against it, right? No, they strike it against another piece of hard metal. There's friction, there are sparks, and when you practice reading with a partner, it might feel just a little uncomfortable at first. Making a mistake in front of a classmate? Yeah, that is the friction. Receiving critique? That's the spark. But that exact friction is what scrapes away the dull edges of your reading habits. Through this kind of collaboration, you build a sharper, way more capable version of yourself, and ultimately, that honors God by developing the gifts and the mind He gave you.
All right, Section 3, giving constructive feedback. Let's talk about the how-to.
Now that we really understand the deep purpose behind this, let's get into the actual mechanics. How do we actually do this in class? Well, it takes 4 clear steps. Step 1, choose a short, interesting passage. And hey, notice I said interesting. Please pick something with some dialogue or action that you actually want to read. Step 2, one of you reads and the other actively listens. And you are listening specifically for rate, so their speed, expression, their emotion and tone, and accuracy, just making sure they're actually reading the words as written. Step 3, you switch roles. The reader becomes the listener. And finally, Step 4, you share specific observations. And let me just tell you right now, teacher to student, making mistakes during this process is not just okay, it is a completely required, absolutely necessary part of your growth. So embrace the stumbles, because I promise you that is exactly where the learning happens.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what Step 4 should look and sound like. Notice the stark difference here. Unhelpful feedback sounds something like, well, like this. That was boring. You read it too slow. Look, that doesn't help anyone. It just makes your partner feel bad. Now, look at the constructive critique side. What if you said it like this? Hey, try raising your tone in the dialogue parts to make it way more engaging. Do you see the difference there? Constructive critique is highly specific, it's actionable, and it is kind. You're literally telling your partner exactly what tool to use, in this case raising their tone, to fix a very specific part of the text.
On to Section 4, Fluency Practice Examples. Let's look at some fun fluency games.
So you've got the philosophy, you've got the steps. Now, what does partner practice actually look like in action? How can you and your peers sit down today and actually make this fun rather than just kind of staring awkwardly at a textbook? Let's look at these practice examples and see how we can build your daily reading habits. I want you to think of these as 3 mini games you can play. First up is the speed challenge. You and your partner read the exact same paragraph twice. But wait,
The goal isn't just to talk as fast as humanly possible. It's actually to improve pacing and clarity the second time around. You want to be smooth, not just speedy. Second is the expression exchange. Oh, this one is fantastic for poetry. You both read the exact same poem, but you intentionally choose completely different words to emphasize. Then you just compare. Which reading felt stronger? Which one captured the author's intent better? Third is targeted constructive critique. This is where you apply specific feedback to specific sections. You might tell your partner, hey, let's practice just the dialogue back and forth until it sounds like a real conversation. These mini-games make practicing fluency so much fun, highly targeted, and honestly, incredibly effective.
Okay, here is your end-of-class checklist. This is how I want you to take immediate action on everything we just learned. Task 1, partner up with a classmate to read and give that constructive feedback we just talked about. Task 2, use your phone or a tablet to actually record your partner's reading, play it back, and discuss one clear strength and one area for growth. Hearing your own recorded voice is totally a game changer. Task 3, take a text and alternate reading every other sentence. It really forces you to stay totally focused. Task 4, time each other reading the same passage twice just to see the improvement. And finally, Task 5, sit down together and create a list of 3 shared fluency goals that you are going to conquer this month.
And that brings us to Section 5, the Godly Learner Philosophy. Let's talk about education and morality.
We've spent this entire explainer talking about becoming smart, fluent, capable readers. But why? Why does this matter in the grand scheme of things? Well, this crucial point is the very heartbeat of the HeroesMart Academy philosophy. Education plus biblical morality equals wise choices. Listen closely, 8th graders. Education without morality can actually hurt. If you just gain knowledge and intelligence, but you completely lack a moral compass, you really just become a more capable person at making selfish decisions. But knowledge paired with godly wisdom? Wow, that changes everything. Your intelligence, your reading fluency, your ability to understand really complex texts, these should all be tools that help you make righteous, God-honoring, life-giving choices in this world.
And I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought from Romans 8, 6-7. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. As you pursue academic excellence, as you practice your fluency, as you sharpen your peers like iron sharpening iron, where is your mind focused? I challenge you today to pursue the highest levels of academic skill, but while keeping your mind centered entirely on God, on His truth, on His wisdom, and on righteous choices. Because when you read fluently, you can understand Scripture better, you can communicate truth more effectively, and you can bring that life and peace to everyone around you. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go partner up and let's get reading.